Hello there, Internet. Been a long time since my last video on my personal channel. Been posting a few things on the other channel that I have with my friends, but the personal one haven't put much stuff on here lately. Been working a lot, been doing a lot of other shit, so I've got taken up a lot of time. Plus, I haven't had like time to myself in my house to where really kind of just make a video. So here, I just kind of decided to do one, and I figured. I didn't really know what to talk about, but I've been reading a lot of comics lately and getting into like a lot more shit lately. So I decided to kind of make like kind of a new show where I'm not really complaining about things so much as I am just talking about how much I really enjoy comic books. I guess because I'm a huge comic nerd and kind of a big nerd in general. I mean, you can't really see it very well, but I guess right there is a Spider-Man poster, and then right here behind me is Metal Gear Rising poster, Borderlands poster, internet thing next to it. You know, kind of a big nerdy dude, wearing a Wolverine shirt, so I figured, I don't know a lot about comics because, I mean, I read what I can, but I have no comic store anywhere near where I live, so I can't just pick up an issue every week when it comes out or whatever, so I have to kind of retroactively go back and read comics. So like I watch cartoons all the time, and I watch all the movies and shit, and I'm a big fan of the stuff, but I don't really get to experience a lot of it firsthand like a lot of people do. So like, I mean, like as a kid, I watched Batman the animated series like all the way through, Batman Beyond and everything like that, and all the Batman movies, and even the really shitty '60s one from the '60s TV show. I mean, I love that. I love everything Batman related, and I love all this stuff too. Like again, like the Wolverine shirt and all this stuff. I mean, Spider-Man. I mean, Marvel stuff too. But Batman is my all-time like favorite hero, and very recently I've been just kind of ordering stuff online, like older Batman comics, like not older Batman comics, but like just Batman comics in general, because, well, again, I'm a huge Batman fan. And I've read a few comics before, like I've come across comics like that at flea markets or whatever and picked them up, and so I know some of the actual comic story that's not, like the original kind of stories, not just what they put out in the new versions, like in the Chris Nolan series and in the fucking, every other the other movies and the cartoons. It's always kind of their own take on it. But like, I'm actually going back and kind of trying to read some of the comics and stuff, and really getting into it. Like, I mean, I've had a hardback copy of Killing Joke for a while. It's the one where they kind of give you a look into like the Joker's origins, where it's like, I mean, it's not they don't have a definitive like actual origin for him. Still, like, there's no like, I mean, even like the creator of the Joker and everything is, I mean, everybody's kind of said that it's not like, you kind of believe the story you want to believe, but it's like he's told his origins so many times that, even he himself doesn't know what it is. But still, it shows kind of an origin story of how he came to be, and him like shooting Barbara Gordon, fucking Batgirl slash Oracle, shooting her and, crippling her or whatever, and all this like kind of cool stuff. So, I mean, I've had that for a while. But I haven't really had a lot of good issues, right, that show like I'm going to kind of do a little stuff. But I've been ordering some things online, and I'm a huge fan of like Kevin Smith movies, like Jay and Silent Bob movies and stuff. And I saw that on Amazon they had I didn't know he'd ever even done one, but apparently he had written a couple Batman comics, sort of a little series he's been doing. And with his friend Walt Flanagan, who does the art for it, he actually draws his own comic now, but they did this, and so I bought the first two volumes of it, and they're amazing. Just the story is fantastic. I mean, the artwork in the first one, it's like, well, I don't know if you can really see it. Well, this is Batman Cacophony. It's Kevin Smith there. It's basically like he goes and it's like the Joker gets broken out of Arkham in a way to kind of lure Batman into trying to capture the Joker again, so that the villain in this, aside from the Joker, but the more like background villain in this is I mean, he doesn't really have a name in the comic, but it's kind of like it's a really good read, but the artwork in it is kind of cartoonish, which is kind of weird. It's like it doesn't look as dark and good as you would want it to really look. because it's kind of like, I mean, Walt he's a good artist, but he hasn't really drawn a lot of serious comics before. And so, but the great thing is, like, the artwork in this, it's like, I mean, again, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it well, but, like, a good example is, like, in this, like, it's kind of dark, but it's, like, it's kind of cartoony, like, and the Joker's face is kind of weird, but, like, in the other one, the sequel, The Widening Gyre, I think I'm pronouncing that right, it's really amazing, because, like, the artwork is dead fucking perfect. Like, I don't know if he, like, practiced or, like, just spent a lot more time on it, and it's the same guy, like, it's Walt Flanagan doing the art, but it's, like, way fucking better, and the story is insanely good. It is just absurd how much better everything is in it. And it's, like, one of the coolest Batman stories, like, story arcs I've seen, and there's a lot of flashbacks of, like, different Robins and different stuff, and references to, like, everything in the universe. It's, like, for somebody who's, like, really into that, like, lore of, like, Batman and everything, it just covers everything. It's got, like, every single hero you can imagine from their universe. Like, you know, they show, like, fucking Aquaman and Superman make appearances, and just, you know, Catwoman shows up in, like, an older costume from, like, fucking forever ago, and there's all kinds of just amazing fucking shit in there. But, so I've read those two. I just finished reading Widening Gyre, like just a few minutes ago, and that's why it was just, like, fresh in my mind. But this morning, a friend of mine was over. He's part of the other channel that I have, Ferret from there. He was over, and he had bought a bunch of issues, like, not issues, but, like, graphic novels that I guess they're, like, compiling the issues from whatever. But, like, one of them he brought was Death in the Family, which is, like, the several part series, but this thing encompasses all of it. And it's basically where Jason Todd, the second Robin, he dies, where, like, you know, it's pretty well known now, like, the Joker beat him half to death and then blew him up in a warehouse, and it basically covers the lead up to that and then kind of, like, the fallout afterwards, which is pretty amazing. Like, if you've ever seen the if you ever read the comic, or seen the animated movie Under the Red Hood, it's like him coming back from, you know, death and everything, because of the Lazarus pit that Ra's al Ghul has kind of revived him. So it's like, I read that, and that was like a 200-page fucking thing, but that was amazing to read. I fucking loved that. Like, I love all the Batman stories, I mean, except for the 60s show. That's garbage shit right there, but every Batman tale has always been just, like, fantastic. Just, like, and it's always so good that he's so human, you know? There's no, like, you know, there's no power there. It's just a normal human, just with this, like, determination to just kick ass. It's amazing. It's really, really good. It's not just some dude with powers who's like, well, I guess I'll use these to help people. It's like a dude who has no business saving people is just whooping ass and saving people against just ridiculous odds. And I just, you know, just a huge Batman nerd. But thought I'd bring that up, and just I don't really know what I'm going to call this video. I mean, obviously it'll be titled by the time you're watching it, so I mean, you'll know what I'm calling it. But I'm going to try to do more. I don't really know the direction I'm going to go with it. I guess just, like, if I read a really good comic, or I have something comic book related to talk about, like, you know, something, I'll kind of make another video or whatever. But I just kind of, you know, want to bring that up, and just, you know, let anybody know who's watching that those issues, or those, like, you know, I don't even know what I would call them, right? Because they're not like an issue, like a little paper issue, but they're like, I don't know, those books, I guess, you know, they are fantastic. Like, just the story, like, I know in the first one, Cacophony, it's like, it's weirdly drawn, like, the artwork, it doesn't look that great, but the story is still fantastic, and then the sequel is just unbelievable. It's, like, definitely worth buying, definitely worth picking up, or just checking out. Yeah. Also, super excited for a Superman Batman movie, right? I know I'm kind of late in the game here, posting a video talking about this, and I know a lot of people are pissed off because of the whole, like, Ben Affleck being Batman type thing. But here's the deal, you know, I mean, I know Ben Affleck, not the greatest actor, right? I mean, he does some good acting roles in some things, but he's done some really shitty stuff. He has. I mean, I get that. Here's the fucking deal. You got fucking one of the best Batmans of the past, you know, before the Chris Nolan movies before that was fucking, Michael Keaton. It was Beetlejuice and Mr. Mom. I mean, come on, dude. Like, that guy as Batman, and he did perfect. He was so not Batman and did perfect as Batman. Yeah, Christian Bale, the dude who's, fucking British as fuck, and, that guy kicked its ass. I mean, until he started doing that super gravelly voice and sounded weird as fuck in the last movie. But, you have Heath Ledger, the guy from fucking 10 Things I Hate About You, A Knight's Tale, and fucking Brokeback Mountain as the Joker, and he was the best fucking Joker of all time, except for, Mark Hamill does a fantastic Joker voice, but, still, I mean, live action, dude was fantastic. So, Ben Affleck, he looks the part, and, if he just wants, and with the mask on, I mean, all he has to do is just be kind of brooding and shit. It's not that fucking hard to act as Batman. Just act depressed, and then you're Batman. It's not that fucking difficult. So I wouldn't be worried about it. But just what I'm really excited about is just the story. Because think about the concept of it. If you read comics, which probably, kind of the whole purpose of, this video. I mean, you probably wouldn't give a shit about this video if you didn't read comics. If you know anything about Batman and Superman together, is that it's the best dynamic fucking ever. There are some issues back where, Batman is kind of, a little more cheerful and a little less brooding and shit, where, they're kind of really friendly with each other. But, a lot of the ones where he's, kind of the darker Batman, the kind of Dark Knight type Batman, when they're together, it's amazing. Because Superman's always, Boy Scout-like, and just kind of, cheerful and just kind of whatever. And fucking Batman's always just such a dick and so just dark and unforgiving, and it's the best thing. It's just this constant, back and forth, and it is amazing. And they have some of that. They have a lot of that in the Death in the Family thing, and then he shows up in The Whitening Gyre, and that's amazing. And it's just every time they're together, it's just perfect. So then in a movie, and I know a lot of people didn't like it. I like the Man of Steel movie. All right, I don't like Superman at all by himself. The guy fucking sucks. I just don't like the character. But that movie was pretty cool, even though it kind of broke some of the rules of the lore or whatever, who gives a shit. But, a movie with Batman and Superman together, I mean, we fucking need that. That's a really cool dynamic. I mean, that's awesome. We don't have enough of that in comic book movies. I mean, they have that in the comic books. A lot of different series, they have, different little duos that are pretty funny together, but you never fucking see that in the actual movies, almost ever, except for, now they have the Avengers, where, those guys play off of each other just perfectly. But, I mean, you usually don't get that. So now we're finally getting this, new movie. I'm super excited to see it, I mean, I'm just, I love that we're in the age of, good comic book movies. Because, when I was born, kind of, I was born in the 90s, so I got some pretty good comic book movies coming up, right? They had just done the fucking Batman with Tim Burton. He made the Batman thing, and then they had some other ones that weren't so good, but they were alright, and then fucking Dark Knight and all that other shit, and then it just kept getting better and better and better and better from there. You got all these Marvel movies and shit. I'm just, I'm really excited for that kind of shit, for those films and that stuff. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to, make a video, talk about awesome new comics I've been reading, and yeah. So if you have any I don't know who's all going to be watching this, got any suggestions of good comics, or if you have any conflicting opinions about what I've said about comics and whatnot, fucking comment or whatever. Tell your friends, subscribe to the video maybe check out my other channel, Idiot and Asshole. That's the other channel where it's me and Ferret basically doing stupid shit. So, yeah, that's it.